Welcome back, listeners. I'm Robin Black, and this is It's All About Healing podcast. And today's episode, the interpretation of forgiveness and gratitude. And I wanted to talk about today is when we mess up and the fear that it brings when we mess up. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was saying that sometimes when she messes up, she feels that she's going to be in trouble by God, like God's going to be mad at her. And God doesn't want us to feel like we're in trouble. What do I do now? God's going to be mad at me. Or, it's like when we feel that fear, it's natural for that defense mechanism of avoidance comes to place, right? And we tend to run away from God because of the fear of I'm in trouble or he's never going to forgive me. But God wants us to get to the point, no matter what we do, we're able to run to God. I messed up, God. What do I do now? Not I messed up. Let me run away, because that's what Satan wants from us. He wants us to feel that God is going to forsake us. Therefore, I have to continue to run away, right? But then when we run away, we fall into more darkness the further away we get from God. When we feel guilt and shame, that's what causes the fear. Therefore, we run away because of the consequences. It's the fear of what I have to receive in return, right? That karma. What is that karma that's going to come back on me if I stay? Or maybe the fear, or not even really the fear. I guess there's definitely fear, but also the fact that you don't want to have to deal with hurting someone and what comes with that. Because of that guilt and shame, you run away from, I know I will feel it, therefore I don't want to face it, right? If you make someone cry, or if someone will leave you, that fear of someone leaving, you don't want to face it. Therefore, the accidents and the mistakes become your best friend, right? And once those accidents and mistakes become your best friend, you tend to look for justification. Let me justify why I'm doing this so it can make sense, or so I can accept what I've done, or others can accept what I've done. We have to get to the point where we take accountability, right? And we face all the consequences that's definitely coming back, right? Because that's karma. Whatever we put out, we definitely receive in return. But the only thing is that karma can come directly towards us, or that karma can come toward the closest ones to us. It can come to our friends and family. We never know how that karma is coming, because at the end of the day, we're all God's children. Therefore, we're all connected. So those who are very much in your circle, that karma could hit them and it'll still affect you. It's like whatever affects us will affect others. That's why it's so big on the things that we do and how it affects those around us, those that we love. It's something that everyone around us is also going to feel. And my friend that she was telling me, she said, my whole family, when somebody hurts us or they cheat on us, that's just something that's unforgivable. And I asked her why, and she was just like, I don't know. That's just the way my family has been. And when she said that, it reminded me of, that's how generational curses are born or passed down, is through unforgiveness, right? Not just saying only unforgiveness. There's a lot of things that can be passed down generationally. But I'm saying, when she was speaking about unforgiveness, she said, my family, we all hold grudges. And that's not good, right? Because the power of forgiveness, it holds so much power because it was a gift. It was a gift from God. Forgiveness was one of the greatest gifts given to us by God, because it was God's sacrificial love. It's something that Satan will never be able to receive. Therefore, he hates forgiveness, right? And we have to get to that point where we ask ourselves, where am I leaning more towards, right? Am I leaning towards God consciousness or Satan consciousness? God gave us the gift of forgiveness when he sacrificed his only son for us. And when God kicked Satan out of heaven, He said, I'm never going to forgive you, right? He's never going to be able to receive that. And it helped me kind of, I know, because I know forgiveness is a lot easier said than done, but that's what helped me better understand forgiveness, because there are some very terrible, terrible things that people do in this world, right? They can say or do in this world. And you may think that's just absolutely unforgivable. But that's why God tells us to forgive first and worry about why later, because forgiveness it's just such a great blessing and such a great gift that he gave us next to his love and mercy. I remember seeing this video of this young man who was in court, and he forgave this woman who killed his brother. And I'm actually going to place the link in the show notes, because I would really like, if you have time, for you guys to watch it and see how powerful it was. At least it was for me. And this young man, he was in court and he was speaking to this officer, and he said, I don't know, but I just forgive you. And it was hard for him to get his words out, because obviously he was hurting, he was grieving. But he still asked the court if he could give her a hug while he was forgiving her. And when he did, when they embraced each other, it was so many mixed emotions that even I was feeling. But to see this young man crying and hearing the words, he just kept saying it over and over and over. And he just kept saying, I forgive you. I forgive you for what you did to my brother. And he said, I'm thankful for the time that I had with him. And then that also reminded me of, I believe it was a CeCe Winings interview. And I remember her speaking about how, when, I can't remember, it was so long ago, it just came to mind, but she and her brother were in the hospital because a family member had just passed away. And I don't know if it was another brother. I'm not too sure, but I remember she said she looked over to her brother as he was praising God, and she thought to herself, why are you praising God at a time like this? And he said, because I'm thankful. I'm thanking God because he didn't have to give me the time that he gave me with him. I could have never experienced this time with him. And that hit home so much, because it's like through the forgiveness that we give, because he gave us that gift. It's also the power of gratitude, because God didn't have to give us that gift of forgiveness, right? And he doesn't have to give us the time that we spend here on earth with our loved ones, or just here, period. Every single day that we wake up, that's a gift on its own. It's like I know the power. I understand why gratitude is so important. Why I have to thank God every single day, no matter if it's a storm, no matter if it's a good day, a bad day, or just a day that just doesn't feel right. Maybe I just want to cry today. I'm still thankful for it, because I know God didn't have to give it to me. And sorry, I kind of got sidetracked by just thinking about that. But when that young man, again, when he was speaking to that woman, and he just said, I'm thankful for the time that I had with my brother, but I just really want you to know how much I forgive you. And he said, I don't know why, but I just really want to hug her. Can I hug her? And why that video kind of sat with me is because I could see the way he was looking at the woman who killed his brother. And for me, the way he was looking at her, it was just, there was so much sadness, but there was still, you could just see how God was moving in him. And it was so profound. It was something that was just very inspirational. And it also helped me understand forgiveness even more, because although we can't see, in the spiritual realm, we can't see how God moves and when God is moving. But when I was watching him, it was though I could feel how God moves, and how that woman at that time, because I don't know the full story, right? I don't know if it was intentional. I don't know if it was accidental. I'm not sure. But what I was focused on was how he kept saying, I forgive you, and how God was just in him. He was so present at this time. And watching this video, it'll definitely, it moved me to tears. I don't know if it'll move anyone else, but it's very powerful. It's a very powerful clip to watch. But I wanted to come on here today and speak about that, because I know there are so many struggling with forgiveness right now. And it may not be something that's going to change immediately. It may take time, but that's just something that kind of helped me understand forgiveness, is mainly understanding that the reason why forgiveness is for us is because God gave it to us, and it's something that Satan will never be able to receive. And it helps me understand when you check your own inventory, kind of checking where your heart posture is. Am I leaning more towards God right now, or am I leaning more towards Satan, right? How am I being, God, you think about it, he's the one who gave life, and he gives new life. He's the creator. He forgives, he's perfect. He cures. He's the one that sacrificed his son for us. He's able to expose what is hidden. He's the only good, right? He brings us peace and gives us that ease. He's able to ease our minds and bring understanding. He grows us in wisdom, whereas Satan, he can't forgive, right? He hates, he lies, he gossips, he discourages, he causes confusion. And it helps me understand where my mind is. Where am I leaning towards right now? Am I leaning more towards that God consciousness, or am I leaning more towards that Satan consciousness? I don't want my heart to be filled more with the darkness. I want to constantly think about the goodness of God and the goodness that he brings. But that is all that I have for you today, and wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good evening, and good night. Stay blessed. Again, I'm your host, Robin Black, and this is It's All About Healing podcast. If you're navigating grief, toxic relationships, trauma, financial pressure, or the slow work of rebuilding after setback piled upon setback, this channel is for you. Our community now spans 118 countries, proof that real stories travel and that healing accelerates when we carry one another. Share your story, lend your voice, and let grace turn pain into purpose. Book your podcast in the link below and share your story. Be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Wherever you are in the world, good morning, good evening, and good night. Stay blessed.